Live, live, live. No one's here yet. I'll just hang out here and just wait for anyone to show up. Let's see. Got one person. How's it going tonight? Oh, I need to turn that off. I need to share this link. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, 3 people. Excellent. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing well. And just let me tweet out this link, and I'm live. Tweet. Hey, Dougie, what's happening, man? How are you? That may or may not have been me opening a beer. It was me opening a beer. So, let's see. That is really good, but really heavy. What am I working with here? Let me see. Oh, 10.5 ABV. I'm going to feel really good after I finish this one. I need to get better lighting in this room. I have no idea what to do. I was thinking about getting some of those like little circle lights to put behind the computer. So hopefully if I stay like this, the lighting will be fairly good. Sulking, don't sulk. 1 day left till you go back to work. I mean, that's fair. I mean, who wants to go back to work? We should all go back to Disney World. I think that's what we should do. Just everyone. Not like everyone, but like, you know, everyone. I ended up live streaming yesterday or last night, which, I mean, you were there, for almost an hour, which is weird because I didn't even think I was going to do it for 10 or 15 minutes. Oh, Josh, good. You finally showed up. You jerk. You're not a jerk. It's fine. You were watching SmackDown. I understand. Thanks for showing up, though. I really appreciate it. How was the drumming, the practicing today? I saw that pic on Twitter. Let's get Rob on let's get your brother in on this live stream too. I don't know if he's doing anything important. Whatever he's doing, it's probably way more important than this live stream. I did have a good crowd. I was pretty happy with it. I think I had like 8 people at the peak, which again is 8 people more than I thought I was gonna have. So, but it was fun. I had some great conversations. You all passed the time really well. So, what's my shirt? My shirt is from a movie called The Void. It's a very Lovecraftian horror film. A lot of really cool practical effects. I don't know if it's on Netflix. It's on Shudder. Hey, Robbo, what's happening? I don't know if it's on Netflix. It is on Shudder, and it's a really awesome movie. And there's a T-shirt company that I like that specializes in horror T-shirts. It's not Fright Rags, although I do like Fright Rags. This dude, his name's Aaron, and he runs a T-shirt shop called Cavity Colors. And it turns out that he lives not very far from me. So whenever I ordered I think it was like a Halloween 3 T-shirt, which I need to reorder it because mine has seen better days at this point. And I saw that it came from like the next town over, and I was like, oh, I could have just picked this up. I didn't realize he was that close. But the Halloween 3 shirt that I have that I want to replace, it's one giant head, but it's in 3 different sections, and each 3 sections is one of the masks. So it's the witch, the pumpkin, and in the middle is the skull. So Halloween 3 is so overrated. All right, I'm sorry, Rob, you have to exit the live stream, and we can no longer be friends. Josh, inform your brother that we can no longer be friends. So I will now only answer to Josh and Dougie, who is in the live chat right here. Underrated. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. Excellent. I'm glad we're on the same page. I highly agree that Halloween 3 is underrated. Is it the best Halloween movie? No, probably not. Is it my favorite Halloween movie? Absolutely. So, an unappreciated masterpiece. So I have a funny story with Halloween 3. I'd never seen it until like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and which is kind of weird because I feel like the movie is as old as I am, if I'm not mistaken. Came out in '83, right? I came out in '83. Anyway, that was a weird way to phrase that. I took it home. Like somebody traded in the Blu-ray Shout Factory release at my store, so I took it home and watched it, and I didn't like it when I saw it. I'm like, oh god, this is awful. So I took it back the next day, and I sold it back to my store. My side gig is a used CD DVD record store job, and I couldn't stop thinking about that movie. I thought about it like once a day for a week, and I thought to myself, well, if I'm really watching or if I'm really thinking about this movie as much as I am, then I clearly enjoyed the movie. And then I rewatched it again like a week later, and I was like, oh no, this is actually really good. I really love this movie. So it became 82. Okay, so it didn't not quite, but close. I enjoy Halloween 3. Like I think it's a good movie, and I love the story, I love the plot, but I love everything that it's indicative of. Like when you watch it, like the kids are watching television on one of those giant pieces of furniture televisions. They look like they had like these fake drawers on it and everything, and just like the idea of the old Halloween masks and everything, and like the wood paneling in the walls and the houses from the 1980s, like everything. I'm watching and I'm like, oh, this movie was clearly made in the early 80s. So I really enjoy that film specifically for the what it's indicative of. Let's see what we got over here. Underrated. Halloween 3 is underrated, unappreciated masterpiece. I agree. Stop it, turn it off. No. The Silver Shamrock song was my ringtone for a while, and I just switched it over to The Exorcist, I think. So I think like the Tubular Bells is my ringtone right now. So what are you guys up to? Anything cool or interesting going on? I mean, it's a Saturday night, and you guys are watching me, so I feel like you guys could be doing much more important things. But we're all self-quarantining, hopefully. Hoping that you're all staying safe, and I hope that you're all social distancing and not threatening to spread the Rona. 5 people up in here. If you just joined the chat, go ahead and say hello. I'd love to know who was here. So, having a little bit of the bubbly. Excellent. I still have yet to have any of the bubbly or the Chris Jericho branded bubbly. So some of my friends bought it, and they got it just in time for New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. But I was lame, and I stayed home New Year's Eve, so I did not get to have any of the bubbly. So I think if they've restocked it, I might order some just to try it. I did go probably about a month ago now. AEW Dynamite was in the State Farm Arena here in Atlanta, and I went with some buddies, and it was an amazing show. I was not floor seats, but I was pretty close to floor seats. I was like 3 rows back on the first level of the ascending seats in the stadium, and Cody was right in front of me as he did his moonsault off of the steel cage, and seeing that in person was phenomenal. Like it was amazing. I'm getting text messages. Let me cancel that. So let's see. Drumming went great. Excellent. Just hanging out. Nice. Funny you mentioned Exorcist. Was just reading Blatty's Legion. Oh, nice. Nice. I still have yet to read any of the novels, and I need to get on that. But the problem is, and if I just shift my computer with my camera here ever so slightly, is all of these books. So there's another one, another shelf that's kind of hidden behind this cabinet, but this is all full, and I think I've probably read about that many of all of the books on my shelf. So I need to do better at reading, or be faster at reading. I'm not fast at reading. I've been reading the same book for 3 months right now. So. Did you guys do anything cool or exciting today? I didn't. I stayed in the house. Stayed in the house, and I played some Mario Kart with some buddies of mine over the internet. Jeremy and Kara over at the Magic Geekdom. Sean and Caroline from See Sean Vlog. And Kitty from the New World Travel Monkeys. So we played some Mario Kart today. Let's see, how is quarantining going over there? I'm assuming it's going well because I haven't left my house. So my personal quarantine, not that I'm just trying to stay out of everyone's way. This is going well. I hope people in the Atlanta area are taking this seriously. I think I saw the statistics today. Excuse me. For the outbreak in Georgia, and the county I live in has 17 confirmed cases, but the county that Atlanta is in has 99. So it's getting up there. So hopefully they're taking it seriously. Watching episode 3 of Ruthless Aggression. Oh yeah, I need to hop on that. I need to check that out. Worked this morning, but have been trying to stay home as much as possible. Smart move, my dude. Smart move. I know for a lot of us, especially in like the service and retail industry or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Sometimes you can't. Like I had to go to my retail job on Thursday, and if I didn't have anxiety already about what's been going on, then that definitely. So, but yeah, dude, stay in as much as you can. I don't have anywhere to go. Technically, I don't have to be back at work for my remote job. I don't have to be back at work until Tuesday. So I get a 3-day weekend, but what's a 3-day weekend when you got to stay inside? So hopefully I can blow through some video games. Where's old Zach Hilton from Haunters? Somebody send him a tweet and tell him to get in on this live stream. Let me check. No, okay, never mind. I thought I had a notification for something. I did not. I almost spent a bunch of money on the internet today, and then I had to tell myself not to. Watching any series on Disney Plus or anything else? So, what am I watching? I used to be a huge television show watcher back when I subscribed to cable. Then I decided to cut the cord, and the amount of television show watching I did went right out the window. I actually watch, since I started doing YouTube a couple years ago, I just started watching all the stuff that my friends were making, and that kind of just scratches my itch. But as far as what I'm watching right now, I do go out of my way. Like I watched The Mandalorian, like I think everyone else in the world did. The Mandalorian was great. Currently watching the new season of Clone Wars, which I'm really enjoying. I really enjoyed this last episode because it reintroduces us to Ahsoka Tano, who is one of my favorite Star Wars characters. So I'm watching that. I'm also trying to blow through the old 90s X-Men cartoon. And I am also trying to blow through the new She-Ra cartoon on Netflix right now. So that's what I've been watching lately. Let's see. Favorite horror films of all time. Oh my God. All right. So Exorcist is definitely on that list. Uh, Trick or Treat, not the one from the 80s, the Mike Doherty film, is probably one of my favorite films, if not my favorite horror film. I absolutely love that. Oh, hold on. I actually have, it's not on display right now, but I did impulse buy this Sam figure from Trick or Treat when I was at Target. Let me see if I can get a good picture without a glare. But you can change his different heads and everything. And I thought this was really cool. And I know that NECA makes a good quality figure, but I love the artwork, so I don't want to take him out of the box. What else? Oh, I really enjoy the movie The Changeling with George C. Scott. Whenever I watch horror stuff, I tend to be more in the mind of the supernatural stuff. I'm not a big slasher guy. I do like a handful of slasher films. Like obviously the original Halloween is still top tier. The first Scream, I think, still holds up really well. But whenever I go for horror, I like a lot of the supernatural stuff. So like a lot of the James Wan, like Insidious 1 is great. Insidious 2 is really good, but only because it bookends the first one really well. Same thing with the Paranormal Activity movies. I really like the first one, but I think the second one might be my favorite because I feel like it builds off the first one really well. The Conjuring films I think are good. I'm really looking forward to the third one. So we'll see. Let's see what else we got going on here. HHN predictions and when am I going? Man, I tried to go to HHN last year, Rob. My anniversary is late September, which is like the beginning of HHN, and I was really trying hard to convince my wife because we were actually looking at going to Universal because we go to Disney all the time, and I thought, no, two birds, one stone. We can go to Universal, see what that's all about, and then we can also do HHN. As far as predictions right now, man, I don't really know. I know that you guys keep up with it a little bit better than I, and I know that the guys from the Haunters, Zach and Wonderful, they end up they stick with it a little bit more with their ears to the ground. I to be honest with you, I truly don't know. I know 30 is this year, and 30 is going to be a big year for him. So we'll see. Where's the cats? The cats are downstairs. They are not allowed in the room right now. They probably don't want to be in the room right now, to be honest with you. So, no, they were all kind of napping on the couch, so I just let them be. Mandaclonians? You're talking gibbers. Yeah. I can't even, that doesn't even roll off the tongue. I can't say that. Dude, I saw that Target yesterday. I almost bought it. Oh, the Sam. It was an impulse buy. I saw it wasn't even in the right spot. It was laying down sideways in like the DVD section. And I was like, oh, cool. How much is this? And I had to go hunt one of those like barcode scanners. And I was like, if it's $25, I'm going to get it. But if it's over $25, I'm not going to get it. And it was $28. And I still bought it because I'm a sucker. So George C. Scott is always great. Yeah, I love George C. Scott. Oddly enough, my two favorite movies of his, like have to do with ghosts. The Changeling, once again, I think is one of the best ghost movies I've ever seen, and also one of the greatest ghost stories that I don't think anybody gives a lot of credit to is A Christmas Carol. You always hear about Christmas Carol being a Christmas movie, but it's a ghost story, right? He gets visited by three spirits. I actually really enjoy the Christmas Carol and the Victorian ghost story tradition. I've got one of these books somewhere up here is nothing but Victorian ghost stories. If you're into Victorian ghost stories, I highly recommend M.R. James. He writes some great stuff towards the end of the Victorian era, and it's all very antiquarian. So it's like pre-HP Lovecraft. It has to do with like ancient artifacts and curses and ghosts, and it's great stuff. Great stuff. Thinking about buying Invisible Man. I thought about buying The Invisible Man too, only because I did not get to go out to the theaters to see it, and I really wanted to. And I really like Elizabeth Moss, and I heard Blumhouse did an amazing job with this one. Be down there week of September 15th, Rach. Hey, if I can talk the missus into going, or if I can break away for a weekend, I'll see what I can do, because I have yet to go to an HHN like at all. And I can tell you the last time I stepped foot in Universal Studios, the year was 1995. So it's been quite some time. So whenever I went, Jaws was still there, Back to the Future was still there, Islands of Adventure wasn't even a thing. Springfield wasn't there. So from everything that I see from all the other YouTube creators and the vloggers and whatnot, it's a completely different park now. So I'm super excited to see what it's like. Invisible Man was fantastic. Want to watch again? Yeah. I might just buy it online, buy it on iTunes or something. Let's see. I know something of M.R. James. The BBC quite often adapts stories around Christmas. Yeah. I didn't know that they specifically adapted M.R. James stories, which is really cool, because again, like the stuff that I've read from him has been absolutely, probably one of my top Victorian ghost story writers. But I do know that the BBC had, I don't know if they still do it or if they stopped and brought it back, but I do know that they adapted a lot of ghost stories, and they would play them on or around Christmas Eve, if I'm not mistaken. You can tell me a little bit better and a little bit more accurate information on that, Dougie. But that's where like the Christmas time ghost story tradition started with Dickens, and then that's kind of how like that story is instrumental in how we celebrate our modern Christmas time today, and how a lot of things that were happening around the time, like the Industrial Revolution was going on. People were kind of moving more towards cities to make income. But I guess the upper tiers, like the upper middle class, like a lot of the children didn't have to work, and there was this shift towards this idea of the family now. And Christmas became about like family time as opposed to just another day. Because like prior to that, it was just kind of a day. Like you might have celebrated, you might have not, or didn't celebrate, but it was around that there was like a paradigm shift in that era of how like the focus came from celebrating Christmas for a sacred reason, as far as more of a little bit of a secular reason, and a lot of children. The focus was on a lot of children. So we kind of get that idea for our modern Christmas. They do it every couple of years. There was a new one this year with Peter Ooh, I'm going to have to search that out. I really enjoyed Peter Capaldi's Doctor. I never finished his season or his series or his run as the Doctor. But I like Peter Capaldi, so I'll watch him in a ghost story. Have you seen Dracula on Netflix? I have not. It is in my queue. I put that. Man, let me tell you, if I showed you my Netflix queue, it's probably just as crazy as everyone else's Netflix queue, but I don't get a chance to sit down and watch stuff. I feel like I don't have that excuse this week or next week. So maybe I'll start that one. I think it was only like 3 or 4 episodes, wasn't it? It was pretty short. Benson, what's happening, buddy? What's going on, my dude? I'm checking out my notifications here. Oh, okay. You should finish his Doctor Who run. The last season was his best. I didn't see the last season, so I can tell you where I stopped. It was the last episode with Clara. So like the end of her run as the companion. I wasn't a big Clara fan personally. Yeah. Let's see what else we got going on. But I do want to finish his run, and I'm really interested to see what the new Doctor and the new Doctor and how she is her take on the Doctor. Yeah, let's see what we got going on. Finish Doctor Who. Yep. All right. Let's see. Not much. I'm all right, man. Just social distancing in my office. Chelsea's downstairs watching television. I asked her if she wanted to be on the live stream, and she was like, "No, that's fine. You can do it." So she wasn't she wasn't into it. You in a stand up? Ooh, who are my go to stand ups? Okay, so my all time favorite stand up special is from 1999, and it's Eddie Izzard's Dress to Kill. I can watch this. I can practically quote it, but I laugh so hard every time I watch it. Eddie Izzard is one of my favorites. I'm a really big Kyle Kinane fan. I think anything he puts out is really funny. Trying to think of like some of the ones I've watched recently. I don't think I've watched too much stand up recently. Mark Maron is great. Patton Oswalt is also one of my favorites. I do like Chris Hardwick's stand up. I think he's pretty solid. Kumail Nanjiani. Anytime his album comes on my iPod, I always feel like I have to listen to the rest of it. It's really good. Chris D'Elia is really good. Maria Bamford is hilarious. Anytime I hear anything from her, she's great. Yeah, that's all that's coming to mind at the moment. Stranger Things is all that matters on there anyway. Stranger Things is great. My coworker at the CD store was actually an extra in the 3rd season. And if you go back to that first episode, and it's the scene where Nancy walks into the newsroom and she's giving all of the guys their lunches. And at the last minute, she turns around and pitches the idea for the story about the mall and how it's closing all the stores on Main Street. The camera pans back over to the table and everybody stops and looks at her. My coworker is the guy all the way to the right of the screen, and he's got red hair, big glasses, and a big bushy mustache. And so that's my coworker Charles. And I took a screenshot of it and I turned it into a GIF. So anytime he sends me a text of just nonsense, I just send him a GIF of himself, just like looking at the camera. Let's see. We bought Onward last night. I almost bought Onward tonight. I asked Chelsea because she wanted to go to the theater to see it. So I asked her if she wanted me to buy it. And she said, no, we can just wait 2 weeks and watch it for free on Disney Plus. So I guess I'm waiting an extra 2 weeks. So, see, I hated Clara with 12. Yes, I hated Clara with 12. Very annoying. I didn't like how Clara would not accept the Doctor because he looked older than Matt Smith. Now, I will say, and this will probably be blasphemous, Matt Smith is my Doctor. That's whenever I jumped in. And then I went back and I watched the Eccleston and I watched the Tennant. And I love the Tennant stuff. But Matt Smith will always be my Doctor because that was my jumping off point. So I started, his first episode was my first episode. So I'm pretty partial to Smith and the Ponds. So, but yeah, I didn't like how Clara wouldn't accept the 12th Doctor because he was just older and he had a little bit more of like an edge to him. I judged Clara on that. Onward is pretty great. Yeah, I want to watch it. I really want to. I don't know. I might throw $20 at it. We'll see. Was thinking about doing a live stream today or tomorrow. Well, if you're gonna do it today, everybody should go check out Benson's live stream. And if you're gonna do it tomorrow, you should check out Benson's live stream tomorrow. That's Mr. Benson Calor and stuff like that. Go check out his page. Gonna hit the hay coming up for 2 a.m. 2 a.m. Man, look at you, man. Sticking around. Thanks, Dougie. I really appreciate you swinging by again 2 nights in a row. Much appreciated. Cheers, my man. Let's see. My doctor is John Cena. Oh man, could you imagine a new season of Doctor Who? The TARDIS appears. It's in a snowy landscape. It just sits there, the wind blowing and blowing, and a close up of the bottom of the TARDIS. The door opens. You see a pair of sneakers walk out. The camera slowly pans up, and I would love that. I would pay good money to see John Cena as the Doctor. Put John Cena in everything. I actually met John Cena about 3 months ago. Funny story. So my primary job that I mentioned but don't name, it has a sandwich shop. So I work at a place in Atlanta. Let's just put it at that. But also at this place in Atlanta, it has a coffee shop and a sandwich shop in it. And I was breaking for lunch and I didn't feel like going anywhere, so I went up to the sandwich shop. My buddy came with me, and we're standing in line. And the sandwich shop always gets a long line, so we're standing in line, slowly making our way towards the front to order. And then my friend goes, "Hey, John Cena's behind us." And I said, "What?" And I turn around, trying not to be obvious, but also being completely obvious. And I'm not even joking. I literally did not see him. That has nothing to do with the "you can't see me" joke. I literally didn't see him because there was somebody standing in front of him. And the person who was standing in front of him was also quite tall. And I turned around back to my friend. And I was like, "Dude, I don't see him. What are you talking about?" He's like, "Look." So I turned around, and then the person had moved, and then there was John Cena. And I kind of like, he was looking in my direction, but not at me. And he had this really confused look on his face. And then he got out of line, and then he went over to the coffee place. So by the time I got up, I ordered my sandwich, I paid. He was waiting on his drink at the coffee place. So I just went up to him and I said, "Oh, excuse me." I said, "Hey, Mr. Cena, sorry to bother you. I just wanted to say hello, shake your hand, just let you know, big fan. So I don't know if you're here just for a cup of coffee or if you're hanging out, but if you want to take a look around here, I work here. I'm more than happy to show you around." And it was actually very nice. He said, he's like, "Oh man, I'm just here for the coffee, but man, I am staying around here for a while, so I'll definitely come back and take you up on that." I didn't see him. I mean, he's busy. I understand. I wasn't, but what I thought was really cool is that before we parted ways, he shook my hand again and told me thank you for stopping and telling him hello, which I thought was very nice of him. Do I see quite a bit of celebs in the Atlanta area? Yes and no. It really depends. They're filming a lot of stuff here. Like all the Marvel stuff has been filming here for the most part. A lot of wrestlers live here, especially a lot of the AEW guys live here. I know Cody Rhodes lives around here. I don't know where. I just know that they live in the Atlanta area. Atlanta's huge, so they could literally be anywhere. Darby Allin lives around here as well. So, yeah, I mean, it just depends on where you are. I feel like Big Boy and Andre 3000 make appearances every once in a while when they're just kind of out and about. Yeah, yes and no. You see a lot of them whenever they come in for the conventions, I can tell you that. Bumped into Ernie Hudson once, which was pretty awesome. God, this had to have been 8 or 9 years ago. And they were doing, it's like a Wizard World Atlanta. I think it was the first time they were kind of beta testing it to see if it was going to be any good or if they wanted to continue doing it. And a friend of mine is an artist, and he got me in on a guest pass. And I got there really early, and at the convention space. And I'm just kind of sitting up against the wall, and then I'm right next to a door. And the door opens, and I move because I think I'm in the person's way who's coming in, and it's Ernie Hudson. And he looks at me, and I look at him, and then he goes, "Hey, how's it going?" I went, "Hey, it's going good. How are you?" And then that was it. And I was fine with it because it took me a second to realize that that was Ernie Hudson. and he was there signing autographs and whatnot. And what I thought was really cool is that he dressed up in his Ghostbusters jumpsuit. I don't know if it's the one that he actually wore during filming of Ghostbusters, um, but he was wearing it and he was signing autographs. And I guess there's an Atlanta chapter of the Atlanta Ghostbusters, and it's just like a cosplay group. And I think they make appearances and donate money to charity, so I can't be mad at him for doing that. I'm not a cosplayer myself, but they were there, and I feel like they were just swarming around his table. And I felt bad for him because a lot of people wanted to go and get an autograph, but all the people were kind of blocking the table, so he couldn't make his money. And I kind of pushed my way through, and he told me hello again. And I'm not an autograph hunter, so I wasn't going to buy an autograph, but I did look at the photos. He had some pretty cool ones, but they were asking him questions like, "Oh man, you remember that scene when you guys busted Stay Puft and all that shaving cream fell on you guys? God, that must have been weird." It was weird questions like that. So 5 people in the chat. If you haven't commented yet, go ahead and comment and say hello. I'd love to know that you're here. Have you guys been watching anything cool lately, movie-wise or television show-wise? Man, I have been doing this for almost 40 minutes. The time flies, man. Like, again, I thought I was only going to be here for like 15 or 20 minutes, but you guys are keeping me company. Much appreciated. This one's for you. Cheers, my dudes. Keeping up with Clone Wars Season 7 and working through Rebels. What season of Rebels are you on? Because Season 2 of Rebels has probably one of my all-time favorite Star Wars scenes in it. Have I watched The Mandalorian? Pff, come on, Benson. Have you met me? You have met me. You know the answer to that question. You're in Season 2. All right. So Season 2, the season finale of Season 2, has one of my favorite Star Wars moments in it. And I'm not going to spoil it, but when you watch the season finale of Rebels Season 2, send me a tweet or a text or something, because it was really good. Yes, you can. Because as far as like watching The Mandalorian and not, because I know you're not the biggest Star Wars guy, which is fair. It's not for everyone. Because I know you did this series with Cassie. Let's go watch a Star Wars for Disflix. I think Mandalorian's a pretty solid story. It's very much like a bounty hunter gunslinger story that just has a Star Wars skin on it. So you don't really have to know the greater Star Wars universe, because everything about the show happens really well in the context of the show. It might be like a couple minor things, like you just have to know that it takes place after Return of the Jedi by like 4 or 5 years. But aside from that, no, you don't really need to know a lot of stuff. Gonna rent Rise of Skywalker soon for a second viewing. I didn't hate it at all in the theaters. Okay, so here's the deal with me and Star Wars. First off, I'll tell you that I'm the biggest mark for just about anything Star Wars. Even I absolutely 100% love all Star Wars. Now, I like some Star Wars more than other Star Wars, but I absolutely love all Star Wars. And I thought that Rise of the Skywalker was very good. You're also talking to somebody who really, really, really enjoyed The Last Jedi. It's probably one of my top 3 Star Wars films, and I really enjoyed. I enjoyed Rise of Skywalker because I wasn't expecting a lot of what happened to happen. I also wasn't expecting the first half of that movie to be a treasure hunt movie, and I really liked that. Um, no, I thought, God, I mean, I just rewatched it because I bought it last week, and I finally rewatched it the other night. Saw it a few times in the theaters. Um, yeah, I mean, obviously there are some things where I'm like, I could have done without this, could have done without that, but I'm really not trying to be. I don't like the people who are like, no, it's not a perfect movie, but because here's the deal. Like at the end of the day, I'm either gonna like the movie or I'm not gonna like the movie. And it's okay to not like the film, right? It's okay to not like something. But I genuinely enjoyed the movie. I did think some things in there were a little fan servicey, but these are all minor gripes that didn't take away from like the overall experience for me. So the end of the day, I really enjoyed Rise of Skywalker. Did you see the cast? Yes, we talked about that a little bit last night whenever I was doing a live stream. Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano. Again, Ahsoka Tano, one of my favorite Star Wars characters. I saw something like 2 or 3 years ago where Rosario Dawson was trying to like petition to do an Ahsoka Tano movie because she really wanted to play Ahsoka Tano, and I thought, I don't think I can think of anything else, anybody better to play Ahsoka Tano than Rosario Dawson because Rosario Dawson kills it in everything I see her in. Especially, I feel like she really rocked it out in the Marvel series stuff. So I am here all day, every day for a Rosario Dawson Ahsoka Tano. Let's see. Same. Love them all. Love some more. Yeah. Again, I love Star Wars. I love some Star Wars more than others, but at the end of the day, I still really enjoy all of them. I think they all have their strong points. I think they all, a lot of them have their weak points. You're also talking to somebody who doesn't hate the prequels. I really enjoy the prequels. Now, I'm not saying that they're great movies by all means. I mean, they're not good. But a lot of really cool key concepts, I think, come from the prequel era. I also think that whenever, growing up with the original trilogy, it was very much the space adventure, the fairy tale in outer space, right? It's saving the princess from the Black Knight in the giant castle, but with a science fiction skin over it. And then the rest of them were very much space adventures. And I think a lot of people were going into the prequels thinking that, oh, we're going to get a space adventure, and what they got was a political thriller with, all of the Roman Senate. And I think the political thriller aspect that mirrors the ancient Roman Senate or the classical Roman Senate was something that very spoke to me really well. So it resonated with me, and I really enjoy that. Let's see. Hey, Karen, thanks for coming back. It's okay. You're not late. You're right on time. You showed up exactly when you meant to. Let's see. I dig the horror feel at a point. I honestly got into Star Wars with this recent trilogy. Hey, man, I'm not a gatekeeper when it comes to Star Wars. I think Star Wars is for everybody. I think there's something for everybody in some version of Star Wars, whether it be a video game, whether it be a book, whether it be a trilogy of movies, a trilogy of trilogies, or just a singular film. I think there's something there for everybody, and I think Star Wars should be celebrated on its diversity and whatnot. And I also really like the new trilogy a lot because it brought so many new fans to Star Wars. And I remember being, God, I can't remember how old I was. No, you know what? I think I was either 12 or 13 whenever I truly discovered Star Wars, because I remember when I was like 4 or 5, my father was watching Return of the Jedi, and I remember it was in part on indoor because I remember the Ewoks. and I asked him what he was watching, and he said he was watching Star Wars. So for the first, from like whenever I was 4 or 5 to whenever I was 12 or 13, I just thought that was what Star Wars was. It was just laser swords and tiny bears. And it wasn't until my next door neighbor let me borrow A New Hope and I watched it. And I'm like, oh, this is what Star Wars is. And I feel like it's one of those important films, especially when you watch it as a child or as a youth, because like almost everything's different. Like there's the world you existed in before you saw Star Wars, and then there's the world you exist in after you've seen Star Wars. And it was very, very different for me for there on out. But I love the new trilogy specifically because it's bringing an entire new generation of fans and creativity to the franchise, and I absolutely love it. Tombstone Josh, message retracted. I don't know what you retracted, but it's okay. Thanks for the hang, homie. Headed to feed the pups. Feed those pups. Give those pups some head scratchies for me. Have a good night. And Steel. All right, listen. The last part, debatable, but I'll let you have it, though. Take it easy, Josh. Have a good night, man. Thanks for swinging in on the live stream. It's much appreciated, my dude. So 7 watchers now. If you have not, please comment in the live chat. I would love to say hello, and I'd love to know who's here. So unfortunately, the kitty cats will not be making an appearance tonight because they're on the other side of that door right there. Bum, bum, bum. I feel like I can go on another Star Wars rant. You guys should probably keep me from going on another Star Wars rant. I don't want to bore anybody. Oh, a middle-aged white dude has opinions on Star Wars. What is it? I was thinking about repainting this room. When we moved in, I told Chelsea that she could choose the paint for the bedrooms, or the 2 spare bedrooms, and she chose orange for this one. And I don't know why. I feel like it needs to be brightened up in here a little bit. So. So, Rob, I know you mentioned Stranger Things earlier. Are you excited for season 4 of Stranger Things? The orange does fit Trick or Treat, so I'm super excited for Halloween stuff start coming back around. It was like it's normally the week after the 4th of July around here. We get like all the craft stores start to bring out their Halloween stuff. So a few more months, Halloween stuff starts going up around the Ghastly household. You like the orange? The orange isn't bad, I guess. Sometimes, like, I just feel like it eats up a lot of the light in here. I feel if we had like a brighter color, it would make the space feel a little bit more open. Super excited for Stranger Things 4. Stranger Things 3 was so freaking good. I took that show to my second as my okay. Nothing can pass. Oh, I just bought the entire series of Addams Family on DVD the other day. I was at work and somebody traded it in. I got it for super cheap. So I have the original 60s show. I need to get the cartoon or both cartoons. I don't know if they released the earlier cartoon, but the one from the 90s, I think they released on, it was like a made to order DVD set from the Warner Archive. Yeah, I'm super excited for Stranger Things 4 as well. They called my coworker back. They actually shut down production because of all this COVID-19 nonsense. And my coworker was actually supposed to go film a scene or two because his character that he was portraying, which I don't even think was actually named in the series, is coming back. So I guess he got a call. He told me that he got a call from the production, one of the higher ups at the production, on the production team said, yo, You available to film because the Duffers want you back. Like, how badass of a phone call is that? Yeah, the Duffer brothers want you back. Hope you can free up your schedule. I need to watch the Addams Family animated film because I missed it in the theater. I have a digital copy of it on my Vudu account, so I'm going to watch it. I just don't know when. I like the voice casting. I think you could easily today get Oscar Isaac to play Gomez in a live action Addams Family, and I would be more than okay with it. And while we're at it, why don't we just upgrade Christina Ricci from Wednesday to Morticia now? Because why not? Also, Christina Ricci, my first celebrity crush. So, Christina Ricci, if you're watching this, I'm not sorry. This chair is really squeaky. This is the great content that you guys get coming to the Jordan Gasly live stream. Squeaky chairs and me pondering why it's so squeaky. Yeah, I know. Hey, man, great minds think alike, right? About to eat, though, heading out. Hey, thanks for swinging by, Rob. I really appreciate it, man. Go get your grub on. Grab some food. So, how's everybody else tonight? How's everybody else doing? I know that right now there's 5 people. There's about to be 4 because Rob's about to bounce. But how is everybody? Let's see. Not a crush, but I love to see her as more. Yeah, I think she would be perfect casting. I mean, I also feel like that's should kind of be the next step, right? She did really well as Wednesday. I think she would do really well as Morticia. So we are almost at an hour. Man, this is nuts. You guys are great company. Did anybody do anything interesting today? Did they socially distance themselves and do something around their household, or did you socially distance outside of the household today? I was cooped up, personally. I mean, I guess I could have gone to do stuff, but I didn't want to. It's nice waking up and not having to set an alarm or wake up to a preset alarm. You baked a lot of cakes. Man, cake sounds really good right now. Oh, do we have cake? We don't have cake. I should probably get a cake. Now, when you say you baked a lot of cakes, are like traditional cakes, birthday cakes, like coffee cakes, or my personal favorite, cookie cakes, because I can throw down on some cookie cakes. I swear I need to get. I should just stop moving. Lemon cakes, chocolate chip cake sounds really good. Lemon cakes sound really good too. Oh my god. I'm going, like, once this live stream ends, I'm going to go raid the pantry to see if I have anything of interest close to a chocolate chip cake or a lemon cake. I'm sure I don't, but I have no idea what's in the pantry. Kiwi strawberry. Okay. I'm on board. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and retweet the link here for this ye old live stream one more time. Come join in on the live stream. There's probably far more interesting live streams going on tonight. So, pasta sauce. Wait, did you put the pasta sauce on the cake or did you make pasta sauce? Because I would probably try both of those. Not even lying. And if you're new on the live stream, if you're just joining in, go ahead and say hello in the chat, just so I know who's here. I wouldn't mind saying hello to everybody. Feel free to chat. No, you made it. Okay, excellent. Excellent. I wish I knew how to make pasta sauce. I could probably learn. But with all the time that I'm not using right now, or wasting, I should say. Not using wisely. That's how it is. That's how it's working out. Hey, don't know until you try it, right? I think I'll probably go for another 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'll probably call it a night on this live stream. But we'll hang out for a little bit longer. Day 8 of self-isolating. Is this day 8 for me? I think this is day 8 for me as well. So since Friday of last week, I did have to work my retail job on Thursday, which sucked because I had to be out in the public. I was there and I had my nitrile gloves on, like I wasn't taking any chances. So I had to go run a couple of errands too. Luckily, I didn't have to get out of my car for any of them, which was great, which is awesome. So, but I mean, technically, my quarantine clock. I guess that's the quote unquote the rule is your quarantine clock resets every time you leave the house. I know for a lot of people that it's hard to not leave the house, especially with this nonsense that's going on right now. But my wife works for a large grocery store chain, and she can't not go into work. So she's quite important in these times. I mean, she's always important, especially like to me. But as far as working, like she had a couple of her days off taken away from her last week, which was kind of a bummer because everybody started to panic. So luckily she has 2 days off in a row. She's got today off and tomorrow off, so she can rest up. So yeah, I've got a buddy up in Michigan, and I keep seeing his Facebook post. He's like, "Yep, I had to leave the house today, so my 2 weeks restarts today." Like, yeah, I don't think I could do that. So I was only at my retail job for maybe 3.5 hours. I mean, obviously that's 3.5 hours too long because I didn't want to be out in the open, but here we are. And knock on wood, I'm feeling pretty good. I will say, as far as confirmed cases in the immediate Atlanta area between where I live and Atlanta, I think the number is, let's see, Atlanta itself has 99. Fulton County has 99. And my county only has 17. So I think I'm still pretty safe. But again, I'm not going to risk it because that's 17 confirmed. Who knows how many unconfirmed cases there are out and about. Yeah, she is working a ton. And she works a ton already. And without her, or with her not getting both of her days off, she, just realized I got something smudged on my screen. Yeah, so she's being overworked if I'm being honest, but I don't work for the company, and I know that they need people. So because the one thing that I'm really scared is that they're not going to regulate as many people or however many people on or in the store, because it only takes one person to ruin it for everyone else, right? So if somebody goes in that is a carrier, then everyone else in the store has potentially been exposed to it. So it's like I'm scared, and stressed. But she's completely unbothered by it. So if she's unbothered by it, then I shouldn't add any extra stress. Only 7 deaths in Scotland, so we've done pretty well this far. Hey Cassie, how's it going? Thanks for jumping in on the live stream. There have been 20 in Georgia, I think. The entire state of Georgia, there's been 20. And I think, and I don't want to pass out false information, but I do think a number of them were more on the immunocompromised side. So, I mean, there shouldn't have been 20 deaths at all. If I'm being honest, like it shouldn't have escalated this far, but that's a whole nother rant for a whole nother live stream. And I don't think I have enough of these in me to go for it right now. So Cassie, what are you up to tonight? What did you do today? First confirmed case in Scotland was your hometown. Oof, that is never fun. All the grocery stores here are doing recruitment drives. There's a lot of stuff going on in the grocery stores here. It's not statewide yet, but I know within the city of Atlanta, so the mayor of Atlanta has issued the I don't want to say it's like a curfew, but it's hey, no public places open, no public restaurant dine-ins are open, but if you want to go orders, you can order to go, and you can do delivery. We actually had pizzas delivered tonight, and I was still a little iffy on it, but we were kind of tired of the entire fridge of food that we had. So your restaurant just closed down officially. Wait, holy crap, Cassie! Like, are you talking about closed down, or just like temporarily closed down? Because that is not cool. That is a huge bummer if it has officially closed down. Man. Temporarily, you think, okay. So, but you're not, like, they didn't lay you off, did they? I hope not. Is it just a, hey, we'll give it a couple weeks and we'll see? Because, I mean, either way, it sucks. Also, if you don't want to talk about this on YouTube, we can totally change the subject. So, I hope it's temporary. I hope that social media manager for the restaurant, so they just told me, oh, that is a bummer. I'm sorry, Cassie. That's no good. So are you gonna just like take a break, or do you think that things are gonna pick back up again? Yeah, couldn't stay open, wasn't feasible. Yeah, I totally understand. Not sure if I can collect unemployment or not. Well, technically, if figure out on paper if you're still employed, because if you're still employed, then unfortunately, then no. But if you're technically not employed and they did officially lay you off, then I think you can fill out that paperwork for unemployment. So the since the store I work at is outside of the Atlanta city limits, we're technically the city of Marietta, Georgia. There's been no hard decision on closing non-essential businesses for like the grocery stores and the whatnot. So my store is still open for the foreseeable future. However, my boss said that because the sales just aren't there. Like we've been doing $200 days for about a week now, and that's just not feasible. So there's a good chance that we just might have to temporarily close up for a couple of weeks before or until everything blows over. So hopefully that's sooner rather than later. But, you know, again, I'm not going to go into that because that's a whole nother rant, and that's not what you came here for. So temporarily closed down. Yeah, a lot of unknowns right now. It's a bummer, and I hate the fact that a lot of people are going through this because a lot of people are indeed um, unemployed now. Like one of my buddies down in Orlando, it was, God, I feel like it was probably Monday or Tuesday. He had some kind of like sales position down at a theme park down there, and they let him go. And like I felt like I felt for him. Like I didn't want any of that to happen. But if you're if you're you know, no one saw it coming. So no, Cassie, trust me. It is more than okay. It is more than okay that you steer the conversation this way. But I hope greater things are on the horizon, right? It's probably going to get a little bit worse before it gets a little bit better, but it's always going to be a little bit better. What was the quote from Dark Knight? It's always darkest before the dawn. So hopefully the dawn will come pretty soon. I'm feeling fairly optimistic about it, but I also wish a lot of extra people would just stay in their home and let's if you keep going out, we're just gonna have to keep socially isolating ourselves a little bit longer. So everybody just stay home and wash your hands. So anyway, what else is going on? Anything new or exciting, Cassie? Gonna start seeing masks because I feel weird not doing anything. Yeah, I was speaking of masks, I was on Amazon earlier because I was sitting on my couch and I thought, hey, I could buy stuff on Amazon and have it shipped to me. So I just started to put stuff in my cart and I thought, man, wouldn't it be cool if I got a plague doctor mask? And I've wanted a plague doctor mask for years now and I just haven't purchased one, only because um, some like the ones I want are like super expensive. But but I didn't. It was like $15. Like the one I really want's like 60. But I found one that was really cool for 15. I'm like, I don't really need this. But I mean, given the state of things, it would be appropriate. Need a mask for work on Monday. I would have ordered Plague Doctor mask today if I could have had them. Yeah. It said Prime, but the way Prime is going these days, it might be an extra couple of days. So see, elastic bands are sold out everywhere. That makes a lot of sense. There was a guy on our news last night walking behind the anchor wearing a Plague Doctor mask. I give that man a medal because that sounds like something I would totally do. There's a really cool wrestler who wears a Plague Doctor mask. His name is Marty Scurll. I think he's from the UK, but like his whole gimmick is that he comes out in a Plague Doctor mask and a top hat, and he's got like a um, nice Victorian trench coat, and he has like a pair of like raven wings that fold out as well. Yeah, there was a lot of them that were sold out until April. The one that I saw, I think, was coming back in stock either like late next week or early week after next. I can't remember. I want to get a Plague Doctor mask, but I also don't want that to be an odd omen that I bought the Plague Doctor mask. So maybe I won't buy it until until everything blows over. This beer was pretty good. I don't know if I could say the name of it. Like my account isn't monetized, so it's not like I'd be making money off of it, but a caramel cake stout is what I was drinking. and it's a 10.5 ABV. So I'm feeling pretty good. Had one years ago, lost it in a move. Think it would be funny wearing it at work. I'm like, that would be funny. I would probably be shunned if I wore that to my primary job, but a lot of people would appreciate it. But I think some of the higher ups would be like, "What is this guy doing?" So, let's see. Sorry, we got Cassie, Benson, and Karen. There's 2 other people in this live stream, and I don't know who they are. So if you're just watching and lurking, I'm happy that you're here. But also feel free to join in on the chat. I wouldn't mind hearing from you. I wouldn't mind saying hello. So if you're here and you haven't chatted, so feel free to join in on the fun. I know all these people that I'm talking to, and they're nice. They're not going to bite. I won't bite. Told my wife that I would go in wearing a respirator mask that they use for Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's a good idea. I'm going to say goodnight as it's 2 a.m. here. Yeah, Karen, thanks for stopping by, and thanks for sticking it out till 2 a.m. So much appreciated. Stay safe, stay quarantined, bake some more cakes. So have a good night. If you're just joining the live stream, I saw the number jump up a little bit here a second ago. If you're just joining in, say hello. I would love to know who's here. I'd love for you to join the chat. So come on in, and we'll chat for a while. I was actually thinking today, because the weather was actually pretty nice around here. It was mid 60s, but it was like a warm mid 60s. Sun was out, so that was nice too. And I thought, man, this is a perfect weather day to be at a theme park. Like, I wish I was just hanging out at Epcot or something. But Rona had to roll into the United States and ruin that for literally everybody. So I was thinking to myself, once all this blows over, I would like to go and visit a theme park. So we shall see. We shall see. I'll see if I can convince Chelsea to go down for a long weekend. We're supposed to go somewhere at the end of next month. We booked an Airbnb for or at the beach in Hilton Head. We actually looked into staying at the Disney Resort at Hilton Head. Good night, Karen. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping in again. We looked at the Disney Resort in Hilton Head, but it was booked. So we decided to do an Airbnb. And they have not, I don't know if we're still going to be able to go, but the person who's running the Airbnb has not offered a refund for Chelsea. So hopefully as things get a little bit closer and if things aren't cleared up, hopefully they'll offer a refund, because if they don't, I'm going to be very upset. I don't know what the rules for Airbnb is. We've never stayed in an Airbnb before. So hopefully, if things aren't cleared up, this person is pretty cool about us canceling a reservation and gives us a refund. So we'll find out. So, oh, hey, look, there's a guitar right here. I'm not going to play long. I haven't played this guitar in a while. I'm not that good. I don't know that song, Vincent. It's a good song, though. Freebird, get out of here, Alex. You pop in, you say Freebird. That's your first comment? Come on, man. Get out of here. Listen, I know you live in Alabama, and I know that Leonard Skinner is very loved in that state. but no. Also, a shout out to Alex from A&E's Adventures for being the real MVP this week. I don't want to disclose where he works because I don't really know where he works, but I know what he does. And Homeboy has been on top of his game. So, Alex, you a real MVP for this past week and a half. So, this one's for you, buddy. Cheers. I also don't know how to play Freebird, so I wouldn't be able to play it if I knew. Or I can't play it because I don't know. You see a man with a guitar, you got to yell Freebird. I feel like there's probably some unwritten rule in there, but the unwritten rules should be broken as well, so you shouldn't yell Freebird at a guy with a guitar. You're welcome, man. You're welcome, man. I see your posts on Twitter, brother. So I know you've been working hard. So hopefully you guys are staying safe out in your area. So I thought about doing a vlog where like a Corona diaries, a COVID-19 diaries, where I would just do a minute or two of filming each day, and I was thinking about splicing it together at the end of the self quarantine, or like the 2 or 3 week period that we're all going to be pretty much self isolating and self social distancing. And I've already dropped the ball because it's been a week and I haven't done it. I did film probably, like, I took the camera around the house and I was just filming just unedited stuff, just me speaking into the camera, just like anything that could, much like this, but with the camera in my hand. And then I saw that I had filmed 10 or 11 minutes. I'm like, oh God, that's going to be awful to edit down. So I think I just gave up. I don't know. I might give it another go. I'm not sure yet. We'll find out. So how is everybody doing this fine Saturday night? This fine Saturday night where we're all on YouTube, or at least the five of us who are watching this live stream. You four in Maine. How's everybody doing this evening? Anything coming up that you guys are looking forward to? I know that like social distancing stuff is very big right now, but anything like maybe like a TV show coming back, or a movie coming out, or something that you guys are looking forward to, or maybe something that you were looking forward to doing but you might have to push off just a little bit. There was every April they do a barbecue festival down the road from my house, and as of right now it is still a go, but I think it might get pushed depending on what the next couple of weeks look like. Bought Sims Medieval. There's a Sims Medieval? Okay, so the last Sims game I played was Sim City for the Super Nintendo. I never played any of the Sims series games for the computers. All right, glad that they released some of the in-theater films early. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier because I know Onward came out, I think it was late last night, came out for home purchase, and I was thinking about buying it so I could watch it tonight. But then Chelsea she said, no, don't buy it. Let's just wait another 2 weeks and we'll watch it on Disney Plus. So remember, Sim City. Yeah, and it wasn't even my game. I just went to a friend's house and they were playing it. So I think I got to add like a street or something. So I do prefer how Disney did a purchase for $20 versus Universal $20 rentals. What? I would not pay $20 to rent a digital movie. Is that how they were doing, or what they were doing with Invisible Man that just came out for VOD, or can I purchase that? Actually, I'm going to look it up right now. I don't think I can. Let's see what iTunes says. Brum, brum, brum. This is enthralling live streaming, I know. Invisible Man movies. $20 to rent on iTunes. No, thank you. 48-hour rental. No, for $20, man. Not. I'm gonna show my age here, but you could go to Blockbuster for like $5 and get a 48-hour rental back in the day. $20 digital rental? No thanks. Get out of here. Get out of here. So, yeah, I'd much rather $20 purchase. Like, why? Just release it early. I don't understand. It's already been in the theater for a couple of weeks. Is there a way of making back what they lost? Yeah, but I mean, at that point, you already own the film. Just release it, and people like, because if it's a $20 rental, you don't get to keep that. With the purchase, you get to keep it. Like, I can justify a $20 purchase. I don't think I justify a $20 rental, even if you're trying to recoup a loss. And then maybe a handful of weeks down the road, or a handful of months down the road, that's when you release the hard copy. Yeah, I mean, easily Disney was way smarter about it. It was kind of like last Saturday, whenever it was also a day or two after they had announced that they were shutting down their theme parks for 2 weeks, whenever they surprise released Rise of Skywalker a few days early, because it wasn't supposed to come out for, like, I think another few days digitally. So purchased Onward. We'll probably rent Trolls 2 when it hits, if we're still isolated. I haven't purchased Onward yet. Chelsea was pretty adamant about just waiting the next couple of weeks for it to show up on Disney Plus. But I don't know. I wouldn't mind throwing $20 at it. So, wish we could trade digital copies. So let me let you all in on my digital copy secret. So the used CD, DVD record store that I work in gets a lot of Blu-rays traded in, and a lot of them get traded in with the digital copy code. My boss has told me that he doesn't care what happens to the digital copy code, because he can't sell that. There's no way to check it to see if it has been purchased, because if you type in the number or the code, it then like accesses the code, and like it then like checks it off, right? Like, oh no, I'm claiming this code. So that's the only way you can check and see if it is usable, is if you type it in to see if you can get the movie. And then it's a one-time use. You can't do it anymore. So my boss is like, I don't care about these codes, because I can't check to see if they've been used, and I can't make any money off of them. So, but he makes all the money off the disc. So he told me and a couple of the other coworkers, if they come in and they work, you're more than welcome to these codes, because he can't sell them. I have, hold on. I can give you an approximate number. If my Voodoo, I have approximately 1,332 movies in my Voodoo account, just from codes that have come through the store. And I don't discriminate. Like, I'll take the prices right. Like, I'm not paying anything for them. So I now have 1,300 plus movies. And I probably won't watch all of them, but whatever. They're there if I ever want to. I'm which is kind of like a double-edged sword, because I used to have, I don't know if you can see There are my DVDs and my Blu-ray right over here, but both of these shelves used to be full of DVD and Blu-ray. But since I had all of these digital copies in my Vudu account now, I sold all of my my hard copies because I'm never not going to have the internet, so I didn't need these hard copies. So a lot of this stuff is just stuff that I can't get digitally. So that's my secret as to why I have so many movies on my Vudu account. You'd be surprised how many people don't use their digital copy codes. Man, I had to get rid of so much stuff. Not had to, like, I mean, I just felt like I'm not going to come upstairs and get a Blu-ray copy to put in the player whenever I can just open the Vudu app on my Apple TV and just stream it. And it's just as good a quality. It's HDX, so I haven't gone the UHD yet, just because I don't have a 4K television. But I sold the bulk of my DVD collection, and then I had a really awesome record collection going on, and I'm never home. I'm hardly home anymore to listen to my records, and I felt bad, so I figured somebody else could enjoy them. So I sold off a huge chunk of my records. Had digital copies that expired. You're so mad. Double check some of them, because some of them will still work. So if you see some that are expired that you haven't cashed in, double check them, because sometimes they'll still cash you out for a movie. So I've been doing this for almost an hour and a half. I think we'll go for another probably another 3 minutes, because we've been going at an hour and 27 now. So I think we'll call it Dunzo at an hour and a half. So yeah. Well, I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. I really appreciate all of you guys stopping in and saying hey and chatting with me. It was much appreciated. I don't know who the fourth person is. Let's see. We got Alex, we got Cassie, and Benson. I don't know who the fourth person is who's watching. So, mystery person, I hope you enjoyed yourself. Even though you're staying a mystery, that's okay. The kid is watching The Greatest Showman. She needs to be asleep. Tell her to go to sleep. Tell her that I said she needs to go to sleep. She won't listen to me. I'm just letting you know. So if you decide to pull that move, it's not going to work. But if you need to, you can tell her that I said she needed to go to sleep. All right, closing in here on an hour and 28. She listens to that. That is fine. Not a lot of people listen to me anyway, so it wouldn't really be a surprise or shock to me. Was fun. Sorry when I was small. Hey, no, Cassie, I love any and all interactions. I love rants, especially. So I could have easily gone on a rant with you, and maybe I will on another live stream. Who knows? We'll find out. Stay tuned to the live stream. So I did 2 of these 2 nights in a row, and I'm kind of enjoying them. So I think as we're kind of self-quarantining in lieu of going out and filming and editing stuff, I might just pop in and do a live stream for an hour and a half-ish. So if you guys enjoyed it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. But for those who are watching this after the fact, or for those who jumped on but didn't join in the chat, thank you so much for coming and joining me on this live stream. I really appreciate it. If it's your first time here and you like what you saw, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and maybe hit the bell notification. It'll kind of keep you in the loop of the stuff I upload, or if I go live like this. I can only do live. I don't have 1,000 subscribers, so I can only do live on my desktop. I can't mobily go live. So that's the goal, is to hopefully get eventually to 1,000 subscribers so I can go live mobily. But if it's your first time here and you like what you saw, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. So I really appreciate any and everybody swinging by and checking out the live stream. So I'm going to go ahead and end it the way I end all of my vlogs. So we'll see you real soon, and stay spooky. Have a good night, everybody.